Hello and welcome back to yet another video. Today is the most exciting day for the Garden Railroad project so far. Today is track laying day. So right here I've checked over some of the switches and now I get the stuff out in the garden and we can start the track laying. I'm so excited, so let's go. Welcome to the staging area. Here we've got all the tracks we are gonna use today, maybe, if the time is sufficient. But man, that's a sight. I love it. There are the switches and a lot of flex track and some small pieces. So let's use them. I went all over that station area with a spirit level and screeded off the sub base to a precise level, and now we can lay the track on that base and it should be nice and flat. Here we go, the first switch is moving in. I will set the switch parallel to the rock wall, and here my piece of plywood comes in. I will neon it to not disturb my track base, which is very level right now, and I want to keep it that way. So as I said, the first switch is parallel to the rock wall, and now I'm moving in the second switch. The hole you can see is the end of my underground wiring system, where all the wires will daylight and go to the switches and signals. So next up I will pull out my phone and look at my track plan, which you can see shortly. Here it is. So I use it as a reference how to set up all those switches. So here's the next switch. This switch will go to the shunting area. And now I have a second look at my track plan. And the work will continue like that. At this stage of the project, it is very important to take your time, work slow but precise, and the most important thing, work the switches until you are very happy with the looks of it. So any mistake is easily redone now, but when the tracks are set, you will regret any mistake for years. Here I'm thinking about this switch. I don't like the looks of it, so I will remove it straight away and get another switch. In this case a 15-degree approach angle switch. So that looks better in my opinion. Here I'm filling in some straight pieces between the switches. It is very important to do that between any switch if you have space to do it. It makes for a much safer operation and it looks better in the end. But that's my personal opinion. You can write in the comments what you think about it. So now I'm fixing up the angles, and as you can see I'm perfectly working around my wiring hole in the ground, so that's very good. Now that I'm happy with the layout of the switches, I will screw them together piece by piece. I will start out with my benchmark switch, as you might call it. That's the switch I'm working right here. It is parallel to the rock wall, and it's my fix point for all the other switches. Here I'm connecting the first filler piece, and shortly after I will connect the second switch, which is the branch that goes to the shunting area. It is so nice to work on this level surface. You can put down your switches just like they are, and they lay perfectly flat on the underground. So that makes for good and fast progress. Right here I'm fixing up the angle, so you will see me walk away for a second. There I will look from the far to check the angle of the switches and adjust it properly. And then I will work my way through all the switches and pieces of tracks and screw them together. To put them together, I am using the Mussert screwing connectors. They are very proven and easy to use, and all my friends use them, so we have years of experience with them and are very happy. They are not cheap, but good. As I'm putting those tracks together, I'm making sure there are no gaps between the tracks, so that is very important to keep an eye on. Here we can see a close-up of those Mussert screwing connectors. You can slide them on the end of the rail, screw them in place, and then slide the other rail into that same connector and clamp them together by screwing the screws. So now we are one step ahead, laying the straight piece of track, which I will use for shunting operations, and connecting it to the switching area. Now it's time to install the bumper at the end of the line, so I will shorten the back end of the bumper. And just like that, I've gained round about 5 centimeters, which are sometimes very important. Here I'm marking the position where the track has to be cut. I used a file to clean up the cut surfaces from the tracks, and now I'm sliding on the screwing connectors and screw the bumper in place. And that's basically it. Now you can see a time lapse of the full track installation day, so have fun!